Good afternoon, everyone. This is PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Mitch Hotch. Joel will be joining us in a moment. He texted me 5 minutes ago. He said Thinkorswim is taking over his computer, or hijacking his computer. Oh, there he is now. So I'll bring Joel in. So he had to reboot, which is why we were a bit late here, but I'm going to bring him on now. Overall, though, I mean, we're going to close down for the week here. Nothing really wrong with that. We're down in most of the sectors. Looking across the board here, you can see oil is down today. You can see Bitcoin is down today. Gold is up, but the major index is all down. Joel, you're with us. Welcome.
Yeah. My sophisticated computer skills.
All right.
Had to do the hard boot on that one too, man.
Right.
I don't know what's going on here, but I'm in the process of pulling up my charts, so you guys can.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, we're looking like it's going to be a down week. Nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with the down week. It's perfectly normal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not a down week for all stocks. I mean, obviously, this some of the stay-at-home stocks, got hit, and some of the reopening stocks did pretty good. What about the week for House of Mouse? How's that going?
I know. Maybe we should start there. We should start with Disney because this thing. I was gonna ask Dennis, but I didn't get the chance to this morning. Before we kind of got going, and I was gonna ask Dennis, "Are you gonna want to fade? You want to fade this rip?"
Yeah.
And then before I could even ask that question, he answered that with a resounding no, and that was the good call because
what's it up, like $20 last I saw?
Yeah, it's up almost 14% for the day. Almost ticked 180. Got close to 180 there. Got to 179.45.
Yeah, I saw that 168 is the pre-market high, so I was looking through follow through on that. But it went 171, it went 165. So they're just out there buying this thing hand over fist, based on those numbers, and they expect them to get better.
I know it's all about a growth story. Like I said, if you can sell the street on your growth, it's all they really care about. So
I just want to. I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but
no, you don't. You love to be a Debbie Downer. Go for it.
How many people have canceled?
I don't know. I was wondering how many people had the first year free through Verizon because that's how I was on it.
Yep.
But they're saying 86 million subscribers. I mean, you can't argue with that.
And how much is it?
I think what's interesting also is they took away the trial. There's no trial. You have to pay to watch.
That was interesting. Yeah.
When did they do that?
I think
that was like a month. Was it a month or two ago?
No, it was a few months ago. Like I think at the beginning of kind of the pandemic time, they just took it away. I think it was a smart time to take it away because even I wanted to take the 7-day trial, and then I looked it up and it's gone.
Yeah.
And how much was it? How much is it? Disney Plus?
Well, they're also
Disney streaming.
They're raising the price by $1, right? So, and I don't even know because I don't even pay for it. But I can look it up here in the pro. I'm sure our chat knows. I want to say it was like $7 a month, but they're raising the price by $1, which the street always loves, right? So,
right. I'm fully operational here, so I can pull up the charts. I mean, the trend is your friend, and just as Dennis, he mentioned, they get firing on all cylinders eventually, and sometime in 2021. Who knows how high this stock could go, but I think it has to be one of the surprise performers of the year of the the Dividend. If someone were to tell you they were going to close the parks and stop movie production and cut the dividend, we'd all be surprised. But
so they're raising the price by $1. It was $7 a month. Now it'll be $8 a month, and there's also a package with Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu that they're also raising the price for that as well.
And I guess the biggest takeaway we can take and move on is pay attention to those investor days.
Yeah, that's I've tried to. All right, let's move on away from Disney. I want to talk about, so on the show this morning, we were talking with Jason, and he kind of speculated offhandedly that maybe Asana could be one of those names, one of those software names that gets taken out. Well, he's not the only one thinking of ideas, potential M&A takeouts here for tech stocks, because the information, which is a technology news site, they came out with their own names, and they thought MongoDB and Dropbox are two potential takeout targets, and MDB and DBX both moved on that report. Information has shown that they can move stocks in the past, so they're very like insidery to subscription news site. And they have good information, but they can move stocks, and so they moved NDB and DBX today on the speculation that maybe they could also be takeover targets.
What's the MDB? Is that the exact symbol? Is that what you said? MongoDB? Like this stock needed any takeover speculation. One hell of a day yesterday from 280 to 320. I don't know when this rumor surfaced, but strong continuation today. New all-time high by a wide margin. So if you're buying it on the takeover speculation, you already got some profits here. I'll just go with my usual: if there's smoke, there's fire, and these kind of things, and you want to see the deals out and the deals laid out. Dropbox had been on a nice rally, 1850 to 2250 in the last couple of days. I'm not really that familiar with the company or what that or the site that came out with that information, so I'll reserve comment on that.
Okay, we've been wondering for a few weeks now who Tesla is going to replace in the S&P 500.
Oh, yeah?
The expectations are we could know after the close today. I've seen several reports now that S&P is going to announce who they're deleting from the index when they add Tesla. There are a number of names that are being thrown around as guesses. We've heard this for a couple of weeks now. Names, a lot of oil names, right? A lot of names like Apache, names like Devon, names like Devon Energy, names like National Oil Well, Marathon Oil, Diamondback Energy. You've got Norwegian is on this list from Bloomberg. Ralph Lauren has been thrown around by a few people.
How are they going to do this and keep 500 stocks in there?
What do you mean?
Okay, so if they're adding Tesla, are they adding? Is anything else going in?
No, but it's not a question of like market cap. It's just a question of 500 companies, right? So
okay. Would you if you take out if you're adding a company the size of Tesla, right?
Yeah, but the market
and you're not taking out a behemoth. Don't you have to take out a bunch of smaller companies?
No. Why would you? Market. So the only thing is it could potentially mess with like the multiple of the index, but I mean it will. But it's not a question of market cap. It's just a question of it's the S&P 500. It's 500 companies. So
okay, so if let's say Tesla's 60 billion.
Yeah.
Right, and that's coming in. Wouldn't you have to take out components?
No.
There's one stock that you can take out that's worth 60 billion.
No, it doesn't have to. The market caps don't have to align. Like I said, it's gonna mess with the multiple. It's gonna mess with like the sector exposure and the PE multiple of the index. But that's not the point. The point is 500 companies. So it's a 1-for-1 thing. One goes in, one goes out. And so they don't have to take out.
Okay, I got you.
They don't have to take out the Tesla equivalent, whatever that market cap.
Okay. All right.
Not a question.
Wow. I don't, man. I tell you.
We may find out today who's coming out of the index.
All right. I'm done taking notes here from Spencer. So thanks for the lesson, man. I mean, this is what the show's really all about. I mean, you could tell I didn't even know what was going on there. I didn't even know what to say. So thanks, Spencer.
Good. No, good one. I should have known that. I'm just thinking that they're, if it's market weighted and cap weighted. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about the market.
So if there's one stock coming out, we'll see. Is anything being added besides the S&P or besides Tesla?
Nope, just Tesla. I don't think they have the bandwidth to add anybody else.
That's gonna be crazy, man. I tell you, I talked to a person that I very respect, probably one of the most well-respected people I talked to, and he doesn't think that he thinks it's gonna go down on the ad. He doesn't think it's gonna that it's like such a the expectations for it to go in and go up, but he's thinking that people are going to be surprised.
Okay,
But
I'm for people in our chat, I'm putting the link directly to the S&P Global website where they announce this stuff.
okay,
If I were you, I would like auto refresh this page for the next like 10 minutes because it may come out at 4 or 1 and it may come out and we don't know when, but
actually, again, Brent had a time that he said he thinks it wasn't it like 416 or 417 or something like that.
Brent knows. Brent is all knowledgeable. He knows more than I. So if he says there's a time, he may be right. I don't know if there was a time. I don't know. I guess you can go back and look at what time the Tesla announcement came out, but I don't know what timing is concerned. I just know there is the link for anyone who is interested in this trade that may have.
All right. Well, it'll be fun to talk about, fun to follow next week going into the expiration. S&P's tailing off a little bit. We got into the 60 handle. Couldn't quite get out to that pre-market high 74.75. So tapering off here a little bit. Last 7 minutes of the session.
Speaking of next week, just want to give a quick rundown of the earnings we're going to get. We're going to hear from FedEx, Lennar. We're going to hear from Nike. We're going to hear from Jabil Circuit, Winnebago. Who else is on my list here? I think that was pretty much it. Herman Miller, General Mills, Steelcase, Rite Aid, BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, huh? Let's check on old BlackBerry.
Pretty much it.
Hanging out, digesting that move, rally, $9, hanging out. I bet you this might be right in the middle of this move here. No further news on that one. Doesn't look like you're going to get to fill the gap, though, that we wanted. Let's see here. We got up nearly to $10. Oh, boy, I didn't do a good job on that line. But, yeah, it's right around mid-range, just consolidating. So, good move. Don't know when that deal's taking place and when they're going to start showing some money from it. But 2.5 point move, a little bit over, hanging out at 8.25. It's just about mid-range.
All right. I want to go to the chat. I know there's some people popped in there that I've missed.
Let's get them all in. Let's not get anybody unhappy over the weekend. Let's get every single stock. If we have to stay till 9:00 tonight, we're going to get every single stock in.
Well, before we start up, while people put it in, Maxar was one of the plays that I liked. It's interesting. For the year, it's just a great investment, but it's also an ex-dividend play. I know that Joel and Dennis talk about these, how they run sometimes into their dividend. And I've been looking to learn a little bit more about that kind of strategy. So I've been trying to pay attention to these, not really trading them, but just trying to see them on the charts and then look for these when the dividend days is coming and see if they run going into that day.
And when you have to be eligible to get this dividend?
In 3 days.
You want to see something interesting? A stock of the day, Costco. You had to own Costco by December 2nd, right?
To get the special, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess what day it hit its all-time high?
Man, damn.
And you know what? And guess when the dividend's being paid?
When? I don't know.
Today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
So if you, if depending on when you bought the stock,
dude, they had a special dividend and we forgot, and the stock hit an all-time high on that day, dividend day. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've been trying to pay attention to this.
You have to be a holder. Do you have to be a holder through the period or to that entire period? Is that my question?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
You have to. Yeah.
You talk about the efficient market hypothesis there. There you go. But Costco, not a great day. That actually ended up opening up at its high tick for the session and bounced around pretty good, but this 370 to 380 range, I'm going to keep a close eye on that. You cleared 380 where you opened up today, right in the teeth of that. It sold off, but couldn't get to the 370 area. So if you're a Costco trader or found it, long-term holding, keep an eye at 370 on the downside, 380 if you're looking for a breakout on the upside.
I see you, Sarah, asking about Pepsi. Pepsi is for those who think young. Let's look at the chart.
The think young?
Yeah, that was the old jingle, right? Fun fact. Here, fun fact. Do you remember the Pepsi Girl commercials from back in like the 90s?
Gosh, I don't know where I was. No, I don't remember that.
It's not important. Anyway, the Pepsi Girl is from my hometown. We actually went to high school together, and we had a few classes together. That's my
nice.
fun fact of the day.
I mean, someone has got their foot on this at 146. That's sticking out like a sore thumb. Institution wiggling out of stock there near its all-time high. They're not waiting for the all-time high. So clear out that seller, a group of sellers. And then you had pretty much 4 lows in the same range. And you break it down. I mean, you're still up on the day, but just keep eye on 146. If you're waiting for a breakout here, which is, the way the market's been trading, that's been the trend. This is not even the all-time high. The all-time high was what, in February? Let me go to my trusty data window here and see for Pepsi. You had your all-time high, 147.20. So far, you've hit 146.94. So it's hanging up here. Just, make sure Mr. Market keeps going, or, if it breaks down, maybe give it to 142. I see couple lows in that area, but just hanging out here. Not much of a day for Pepsi.
What about the gap? This was also mentioned as a potential candidate to get taken out of the index.
To get taken out? Oh, taken out of the index.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not taken over. Taken out of the S&P.
Like, who the hell would want the gap? Yeah. I mean, you're playing with fire here. You came down hard after earnings. And now you're dead in money here. You can't get away from that low. So the propensities of these issues, when you have a big drop like that, you find a bottom. You want to repel off that bottom here. So you might be looking another leg down here in the gap. And if that thing gets pulled out of the S&P, watch out on that one. I don't even know. I don't even want to.
Yeah, if I own that chart, I'd be scared.
Yeah,
so
you don't like
that
it.
Tells me enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I like to look at is when issues close near the high or low of a session, the propensity for them to follow through. So it looks like there's some speculation here. They're gonna pull that out of the index. It is 2076 low, 2085 close. That is the lowest close since a disappointed street on earnings, but. We had Josh Brown on a couple weeks ago, and he was looking at this one a little bit longer term. He really liked the CEO that they put in place. So that's a looking gap. I guess we'll end it there with the gap.
All right. Yeah. 401 pencils down means we're done unless you're trading after hours. We're trading the futures. But yeah, like I said, final tally, we're down for the week, slightly red. Not a big deal. Nothing really concerning. Perfectly normal market action. Although, Joel, I want to ask you some trivia real fast. So I'm going to tell you, Joel, that yesterday Airbnb had about 70.5 million shares of volume. That was a volume, 70.5 million. What do you think the volume was today?
45.
Not even close. 26.
Really?
Yeah. So the party is Airbnb. No, that's only one indicator, but
I mean, it just that just tells you that, and it made a new low too. Boy, 2-day downtrend there, and I guess you can't call it a 2-day downtrend. 2 red candles in that one. So
I would even call it a day and a half because they only got a couple hours in yesterday. All right.
Oh, and think about it too. They traded that 70 million in a couple hours yesterday, and then today they had the whole day to trade. interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on Airbnb.
All right, that's a wrap. Everyone, please remember all the information from all of our broadcasts, including this show, are meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. And the opinions of our hosts and guests do not represent that of Benzinga. Everyone, have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you on Monday morning.